Kalyn, your abundant business coach, and that's because I want you to experience abundance in your business. If you didn't know already, I have 3 businesses. One of them is a marketing firm. Therefore, I have worked with a lot of small businesses and I've helped them with their social media marketing, their content marketing, all sorts of things. And I'll tell you that the number one thing that most small businesses are lacking is a real good sense of their business identity. You could really call that their brand, but I'm calling it a business identity because I'm hoping that that starts to get you to think of it a little differently at the beginning of our conversation. Yes, that business identity is real important. When I work with small business owners and they're talking about what they do, it's so funny how often they don't really know how to talk about it. They don't know how to say what they do. And the thing is, even though they run a business and they have clients, one of the most common factors for businesses that are trying to go from here to there to really grow their business, be more abundant in their business, is that they don't have that identity. At the very least, hopefully you can get a good sense that when you don't really know how to talk about your business, it makes it very hard for someone else to really understand what you do. For example, I was speaking with a woman who helps people with health related and hypnotherapy and these kinds of things. And talking to her, I was saying to myself, how can I possibly recommend someone to her? Because when I say, hey Joe, I'd like to recommend Susie to you, and Joe says, well, what does she do? I go, a lot of stuff. Well, that doesn't, it's like, what does she do? When you can't say it, well, someone certainly can't understand it. When you can't clearly say what your identity is, what your business brand is, what you do, people can't really hear it, and they can't really click when they hear it and go, oh, I need that. See, if you say, oh, I do a lot of things to help you with your health. I have a lot of products. Oh, my store has so many products. My boutique just has thousands of products. We don't hear something that we want. You want to always be sure that you have that identity in place. That identity is going to be in the shape of your brand, your tagline, your elevator pitch. Really also your unique selling proposition. And in future videos, we'll go through those. But what I want you to get a sense of right now is that if you know how to really say what you do, it makes all the difference in the world. If you can come forward and say something like, oh, I help women jazz it up with beautiful jewelry. I help women look more beautiful, adorn themselves. Well, that's very clear. Now, if I want jewelry, I know where to go. Can you get a good sense of that? When you have that identity in place, you are going to feel so much more comfortable and confident speaking about yourself and your business. That confidence comes across. So not only can people click and hear a service or a product that they might be interested in, but they also hear that confidence. And that makes a big difference. None of us want to go and do business with a business where things seem shaky. We all want to be sure to do business with a business that's clear, that delivers something. And then we can decide whether or not we want that thing delivered to us. So it's a real important thing. And even if you've been in business for a little while, and even if you feel like you're doing well, stop and contemplate this. Because I think I would say probably a good 90% of the small businesses that I know have this problem. They don't really know how to distinguish themselves from their competition. Because, they just say, oh, I'm a gallery, I have art. Well, there's a lot of those out there. You want to really stand out. You want to say what your specialty is. You want to say something that's going to make something click. Now, one specific thing about that is I know that a lot of people tell me, but Kalyn, I have so many different kinds of art in my gallery. I can't, for example, say I do abstract because then I'm not including all these other things. Well, what if someone's interested in a different kind of art? I understand that, and I get that a lot of the time. And frankly, I used to have that problem as well. I might even still have a little bit of it. But when you say one thing, when you open one door, one specific door for people to come in kind of thing, metaphorically speaking, then what happens is they come in and they start to understand, like they really are able to connect with you. So let's say you do abstract art. They go, oh, that's interesting. And frankly, it's possible that they'll just walk away. That's going to happen anyway. There are people who are not going to be interested in what you do, or you caught them on the wrong day, they're preoccupied, or right now they really don't have the money. There are a lot of people who are not going to be interested. There's nothing you can do about that. You just have to let it be what it is. However, there are going to be people who are interested. And when you say, oh, I have abstract art, they might then say, really? Oh, I also really like, I don't know, what's another kind of art? I also really like Impressionism. Do you have Impressionism? And so you are going to be able to start a conversation. Why? Because by giving them one thing that they could connect with, it invites them to connect and start to ask you about other things. So if you say, the number one thing you like selling in your boutique, let's say it's jewelry. I love selling jewelry with hearts. All of my jewelry has hearts on it. They say, oh, you sell boutiques, heart jewelry in your boutique. Do you also have X? Because now they have a sense and there's just something concrete for them to connect with. So the more concrete you are, the better. Develop your business identity. If you'd like, be sure to subscribe and catch future videos where I'll talk to you about things like the tagline, things like being passionate about your business, because that makes quite the difference. If we're not passionate about what we do, it's really hard to do the parts we like, and it's really hard to do the parts that we don't like as much. So be sure to subscribe and be sure to catch more videos about being in the golden flow of business to make your business a more abundant one. I'm Kalyn. Thank you so much for joining me today.